So uh, initially, when I came to this project, I wanted to explore themes of communication and understanding. Originally, my proposal was for a large performance piece of three people in a sand pit, kind of constructing a tree of life pattern. That was kind of overcomplicated in the end. So for the first tutorial, I did this piece, which a few of you might have seen. So I'll just show some of the screen recording. At the time, also there was a bit of a performance aspect involved. I handed out a large brown sheet of paper that was left over from the initial performance, which acted as kind of an awkward prop.
Of a formation
Also
around
just
what
my
is perceived, imagined, and recalled in media and film reveal the connection of the subconscious, a dynamic, fluid, and elastic approach to exhibition making that focuses on practice that is realized through time, explores recontextualized collected sounds and tactile gestures formed into dynamic, psychogeographical compositions.
So this is kind of a play on presentations as a mean of communication and understanding. Um, um, it's very interesting to me that we can do a presentation with almost no content whatsoever, whereas conversations are often forced to have content. I've played a lot on just all the worst presentations that I'd seen and their ability to completely change the social context of a classroom. Like if somebody sets up a presentation, then the whole space of the classroom changes around. The value system, like it becomes valued for you to face forward, and any other way becomes devalued, and at the same time, it also becomes hostile to leave. Different actions which might be normal in other social contexts become um, either hostile or expected in this kind of situation. Um, I was looking at kind of the presentation as site-specific work as well. Um, the art piece itself kind of worked within the thing that was expected of us. So instead of playing on the idea of a gallery as many previous artists have done, or on the idea of a public space as many previous artists have done, I've played on the idea of an assessment, which is kind of very interesting to me because that's something that most of my life's kind of consumed with at the moment. Um, After this, I went on to kind of explore cringe as well, which is a major part of the initial piece. I was looking at kind of cringe as a shock aspect. I don't know about you, but I feel probably more comfortable watching SBS News and seeing, places get blown up by drones and stuff like that than I am actually seeing, the UK Office or something that's very like socially awkward. I think cringe is probably one of the only types of shock that's really left in an art world that's very callous to suffering now. That's been overused on us. Um, I thought the presentation had achieved its own goal and was unlikely to be repeated, so I just wanted to um, expand on this cringe aspect using technology um, at first, just using different like kind of annoying things, but it was very minor and didn't really work out. I went on to look at understanding through emotion as well, particularly anger. Um, Emotion is something that's very difficult to convey. It's very, it's almost impossible to know if anybody else in your life kind of assigns any real value to the emotions that you feel. So you could possibly kind of always adrift in this kind of self-masturbatory emotional kind of haze, which is what I wanted to explore by using vloggers originally, like really angry vloggers, kind of raging into the void of the internet with no possible response and no real ability to express, I guess. Like they're angry at nothing, really. In a similar way, looking at kind of the anti-aggression in particularly the videos of Chicago drill rappers. Um, that was kind of, well, I mean, the first one was kind of very unprofessional, really, and pretty droll and empty, and the second one was similar but also racially loaded as well. So I decided not to use either of those. In the end, for that group sharing thing, I decided to push it into a more awkward zone by using really bad poetry that was also very emotionally intense. Um, it was really interesting again to play in this class environment where people were completely unwilling to confront me about how bad the poetry was, or actually confront the um, the actual core of what was going on at all, but only confronted me in a very oblique way, in a very positive and encouraging way, I guess. Um, like the emotional intensity of it shielded me or shielded the actual discussion from any ability to reach at the content of it.
But I kind of abandoned that, and I decided to do a spoken word piece. And I've written out some of it. So I'll just read it out, and then we can do the tutorial afterwards. So, tell me how to spell your name. Xavi. ER. Okay, I would have got that.
Fuck, I skipped it.
My feelings turn sour. My love state weighs on me like a dead weight, tied to me at sea, and it's too late for you to save me. Just use me as bait.
So that was the bad poetry, and the discussion was
I mean, everybody has felt pain, or I'm sure like all three of us, if you were saying it seriously, could somewhat relate to what you're saying. So, exposing yourself and expressing yourself verbally, which is a very difficult thing to do. Or you've become so far removed from it that you almost couldn't connect with it in the.
Yeah, so that went very interestingly to see three people kind of put on the spot like that, and also to see, also to know kind of the underlying message that's in something, but to see people kind of also struggle to acknowledge something that they all knew as well. But somebody within that presentation made a very interesting comment that was, after I kind of revealed that it was a bit of a joke, saying, oh, like, sure it was a joke, but like you've actually felt those emotions before, obviously, like we all have. So how far removed is the parody from your reality? So that got me thinking a lot about not only the classroom as relational work, but myself in the classroom as being part of that relational work, and what is expected of me as a student and as Xavier Jones, in particular, which is something like a character that I reinforced when I did the testing ground presentations as well. I made sure everyone kind of knew what was going on and knew what my intentions, my background were, like what is expected of me as a character. So for the final piece, I did a sculpture. I couldn't really bring it in. This is just the setup that I have in the studio. So this is kind of stripped back really a lot. It's playing with the social registers that I had going on in the first piece, by mixing the social register of the classroom with the social register of my bedroom as well, and also the value of my emotions as well, to not only, isolate emotions into an art piece, but then isolating, like something that's very intimate and something that's very important, I guess, physically to me into an art piece as well. Taking something that might be trash but has sentimental connection to me and transferring it into value using the art piece. There's some detailed shots I've got as well. Yeah, live a pretty messy life, so I thought this best kind of explored the awkwardness of the entire character that I developed over content in the classroom. I thought about doing another presentation, but I thought this kind of got more to the heart of the matter, really, and being more reductive, I guess. Yeah. So, like, any comments would be appreciated.